comes casting where you're also showing realism, but we now can imagine Aamir doing this. But that time, Aamir, very good-looking Bandra boy, you made him tickets in that. You pulled it off very well. But how did you imagine it?
See, it was typically that the very reason what you mentioned. I was so sick. Aamir is naturally very classy and his demeanor, right from Kayamat se Kayamat, if you look at it. But I thought if you cast a guy who's like that in this, still his natural demeanor and his body language will still maintain that likability, which is what I think a star's quality more than anything else is likability.
Correct.
And then him playing something which is almost exactly opposite of his nature. So I thought that division will make it look true. Special.
Then comes Urmila. Two sides to this character. One is this very lovable girl in awe of this film star, and one this very bold and beautiful doing these songs. What was your brief to Urmila initially when you told her about Rangeela?
Rangeela was actually a film initially I thought for Sridevi and Nagarjun, and we wanted to approach Jackie Shroff for Rajinikanth for the role of Jackie Shroff.
Wow,
that was original idea. And then at a point of time when I narrated this story and another action film to Sridevi, she preferred the action film. Then when I was doing Gayam, I was doing a song and the choreographer couldn't come because of some reason, and I asked Urmila to extempo do something, and what she was doing that affected me, and that is that day I decided if I ever make Rangeela, I'll make it with her.
Right. Jackie Shroff's role, there were many options. Then that time there was Sunil Shetty and Anil Kapoor and all these people. Why did you think of Jackie Shroff only?
For some reason, I never thought of any option except Jackie right from the beginning. Because I wanted that contrast, because a tall, handsome and very suave, and I wanted the contrast between Munna's character and Kamal's character, and I thought it was the most obvious thing. See, there are some people who look larger than life naturally. It is not just about the looks or a performance ability or whatever.
What point you and Rahman both just know this is it, this is the song?
You see, Rahman is a very unpredictable composer, and he's got this one unique trait in him which I've not seen in anybody before that or after that also. He would never pitch a tune with a kind of like a salesman.
Like Bollywood music director.
Yeah. So, like people like Anu Malik,
who say, aag laga dunga.
He would, ye to fat jayegi, pura record break kar degi. You know what Rahman does, when he first gave me this tune, I didn't know what the hell to make up, Then Mani Ratnam was visiting at that time. So I made him hear it. Mani, this is what he has done. I don't know, but it's so unique. Just take it, he said.
Oh, he just because it's unique. The films you made, like Company, and these films, like I can watch it today. I think I've watched it 100 times already, but I can watch it again and again. I think every month or 2 months. Ramu, why do you not make these? Why is Ram Gopal Varma missing from the action scene where OTT is flourishing, and we would love to see an OTT show from you?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I'm in the process of that. Why I did anything, I think if I could very honestly answer that, I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't have done that. Let me put it that way.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So you are exploring. We'll see some web series.
I already written a series. I'm very excited about that.
Ramu, welcome to Bollywood Hungama. We're in 2025 and we are talking about Rangeela. It is incredible how a film doesn't age and we can still talk about it, we can still watch it and enjoy it. I'm going to, of course, take you back that, there was a time when we were enjoying this Shiva and all these college fights, which we personally somehow related to. And here comes a Ram Gopal Varma film, which is a love story and has a romantic angle and all that. Must have come from some place you heard or someone you saw.
See, most of my films, they go back to some 5 or 6 films which influenced me in my growing years. Probably a Booth or a Raat came from The Exorcist, for example. A Shiva or something comes from a Godfather or something. And likewise, I was very influenced by this film called Sound of Music, which came in the 60s.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And what struck me about that is there is no antagonism in the film. It is like a nice people, and it is just a situation which creates the conflict more than anything else. So that is one thing which stuck with me. And then I used to have a friend in my college at the time. Those students and these dadas used to be together, and that guy was a tough guy, and he was in love with this one girl in the college. And she was seeing a guy who's much more handsome and tall and also rich. So this guy so we used to instigate him to go and beat him up. And one day he told me, say, Ramu, I think she deserves someone better than me. That stuck in my mind.
Wow.
Now I thought love, being selfless, has got more value than to be possessive.
Right.
You want to get who you love is different from you want to let them free so that they can have a better life.
Wow.
So that sacrifice aspect is what stuck in my mind, which eventually a combination of this and the Sound of Music. And then I was fascinated with Rahman's music in Roja. That kind of a sound. So I had this developed a mad desire to shoot songs in a way no one has ever done before. So I think it's a combination of all this. Yeah.
Then also you were going to show Bombay at that time in a very your own way. The people would see Bombay and the film industry and shooting and all that. What was your idea to show all that? How you had a plan? Let's show
to
Bombay.
start, see, like love stories before Rangeela, I would say even after that, they generally have a tendency to make them picture perfect, clean and beautiful frames and airbrush photography and. So I thought, love doesn't happen like that. It happens in normal spaces.
Real world.
If you look at it strangely, Satya and Rangeela were shot in the same spaces, like realistic locations and roads and that thing, though the genres are so different. So I thought it would be much more relatable if the ambience is natural and real. So if Aamir is selling tickets in black outside that theatre, it looks like a theatre where you would be there.
Right. True.
You went to see a film in that kind of a location. And,
True.
So I think it is that, like where Urmila lives at that kind of a small, say anybody can relate to that kind of a.
Correct. But then comes casting where you're also showing realism. But we now can imagine Aamir doing this. But that time Aamir, very good looking Bandra boy. You made him sell tickets in black. You pulled it off very well. But how did you imagine it?
See, it was typically that the very reason what you mentioned, I was sick. Aamir is naturally very classy and his demeanor, right from Qayamat se Qayamat, if you look at it. But I thought if you cast a guy who's like that in this, still his natural demeanor and his body language will still maintain that likability, which is what I think a star's quality more than anything else is likability.
Correct.
And then him playing something which is almost exactly opposite of his nature. So I thought that division will make it look special.
True. In fact, you gave him a platform where he can show his other side, which we had never seen.
Yeah.
Right. And then comes Urmila. Two sides to this character. One is this very lovable girl in awe of this film star, and one this very bold and beautiful doing these songs. What was your brief to Urmila initially when you told her about Rangeela?
See, like Urmila I knew because I initially cast her in a film called Drohi.
Yes. Yeah.
And then during the same time, me and Maniratnam wrote a script together for a film called Gayam. And that's a Telugu film. So there she was doing one of the, like a second lead to Revati, a big star in South at that time. And Rangeela was actually a film initially I thought for Sridevi and Nagarjun. And we wanted to approach Rajinikanth for the role of Jackie Shroff.
Wow.
That was original idea. And then at a point of time when I narrated this story and another action film to Sridevi, she preferred the action film.
Okay.
I also was not so much into Rangeela at that time, at that stage. Then when I was doing Gayam, I was doing a song, and the choreographer couldn't come because of some reason, and I asked Urmila to extempo do something. And what she was doing, that affected me. And that is that day I decided if I ever make Rangeela, I'll make it with her.
Right. And you changed the other actors also, Rajnikant, and you
Yeah, then it became a Hindi film. So
right.
originally with that it was actually South Telugu film.
Okay, okay. For Jackie Shroff's role, there were many options. Like, then that time there was Sunil Shetty and Anil Kapoor and all these people. Why did you think of Jackie Shroff only?
For some reason, I never thought of any option except for Jackie right Shroff. From the beginning. Because I wanted that contrast, because a tall, handsome and very suave, and I wanted the contrast between Munna's character and Kamal's character, and I thought it was the most obvious thing. See, there are some people who look larger than life naturally. It is not just about the looks or a performance ability or whatever. Yeah.
Right, and then comes Rahman's music. I read the story where you all went to Goa and he was just watching TV. Right, but when he gave, at what point you and Rahman both just know this is it, this is the song?
You see, Rahman is a very unpredictable composer, and he's got this one unique trait in him which I've not seen in anybody before that or after that also. He would never pitch a tune with a kind of to say like a salesman.
Like Bollywood
like
music director.
Yeah. So, like people like Anu Malik, I don't mean him only.
Aag laga
so he would, ye to fat jayegi, pura record break kar degi. You know what Rahman does? Rahman made something, just see if it's working for you. He will put it so thunder. He's almost like half apologetic and he doesn't know what to say. But when you hear it, it sounds so uniquely different. You're actually confused. I wouldn't say I like it or I don't like it.
Okay.
You get disoriented because you've not heard anything like that.
Right.
Now, I remember him when he first gave me this tune. Fuck, I didn't know what the hell to make up, Then Maniratnam was visiting me at that time. So I made him hear it. Mani, this is what he has done. I don't know, but it's so unique. Just take it, he said.
Oh, he just because it's unique.
But another instance I have to tell you, when he did this composition for Kya Kare Kya Na Kare, so he said it. This is how he done. So, what was that? And I made Mehboob listen to the lyric writer. And Ramaji, pura half notes hai. There's no note.
Correct.
And then when I was sitting with Mehboob, Rahman doesn't speak Hindi. No. So then I said, then he came up with this. If you imagine that as a full note instead of a half note. Kya kare, kya na kare, kaisa dil. So when I got the lyric to Rahman, he said, the whole beauty of the tune is it in half notes.
Okay.
He
was convinced about that.
So he suggested, and that could be very different, which I think is true. They are very different. But I love the meaning in what Mehboob wrote. So I kind of convinced Rahman to change that to full notes.
Yeah, then you have to take these songs to your actors. Your actors were not someone who will just be like, chalo, whatever it is. Aamir, was he that involved in the process?
I don't know if involved is the right word. Like, he's a very passionate man.
Okay.
And he's also like a director. He understands cinema.
Yeah, okay.
So obviously in that kind of a thing, you should have discussion. So he was very worried about one particular song. Ayyo, yellow. He said, people will laugh if I sing that. The voice doesn't match because most of the time, they used to use Udit Narayan.
Udit Narayan yeah.
So I identified with that kind of a voice. Correct. And suddenly to hear a slightly feminine, like Rahman's song soft, is very, not even soft. It was like a...
Never seen him do that.
So I said, I think that's what which will sound different. And it's also the concept and the situation of the song is vacuum. And the way he's expressing it and all that. Yeah, finally he did it. But yes, he
Finally.
had his reservations about using that kind of a voice. Yeah.
Right. What about Urmila? She looks so good, and that time these songs were so hot, and everywhere people were going to the cinema to watch these songs because of Urmila. So many of them. Did she had any apprehensions of shooting
Yeah,
these?
she did. She did. Because she comes from a very conservative middle class family,
Right.
and all the films she has done before that,
Hmm.
so like very fully clothed, wearing
Yeah.
churidas and things like that. So I told her, see, I had this observation I made, like when I said my influence was with the Hollywood musicals like Singing in the Rain and these kind of films.
Hmm.
So the kind of a grace with which those dancers do,
Correct.
and they wear short clothes and all that, but it looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I used to see my mother enjoying those songs, but whenever she sees a Hindi song with, for example, a Sarkailo Khatia kind of song, I'm not saying that in
Correct.
particular, but
Correct.
something like that,
Yeah.
and she used to have a frown.
Hmm.
Then I realized it is not so much about the exposure, it's about how they're
How it's
taking it.
done. Yeah.
Yeah. So I told Urmila, if you feel beautiful, if you feel with a sense of pride what you are. I gave her example. If you see a kind of a puppy dog in a garden, it keeps jumping about. It doesn't even care about who's watching and is not conscious about what it is doing. That is the brief I gave for Tanha Tanha song.
Ah.
So when she was jumping in the water and all, just forget there's a camera, forget there's a film unit. You're like an exotic wild animal.
Yeah.
And that being seen by Jackie from his point of view, which connect to the chemistry of the
Right.
thing.
Right.
So there somewhere she got convinced on that,
Nice.
and she did it with complete without inhibition.
Yeah, yeah, you can see the results. My God, even these songs have aged very well. Those are very different release days of single screen cinemas. We all used to go and buy ticket, stand in a queue to watch it. Do you remember the release day of Rangeela?
And September 8th.
Huh.
I remember that mainly because at that time nobody used to release films on a Ganpati day.
Oh,
At
okay.
that time,
Huh, huh, huh.
I think this was almost the first time it happened, at least to my knowledge, no? Which is the reason I remember that.
Huh,
Yeah.
huh. But at that time, did you all go to the theaters to see reactions or something? Did you all do that?
Yeah, we did because a very enterprising distributor called Shyam Shroff
Yes, of
took
course.
upon himself to decorate the whole screen with serial bulbs, and even before the film began, he created a festive atmosphere in main theater Eros.
Ah, nice. Okay. Huh.
You know, so I was very closely involved with him at that time, and a couple of times we went there after, especially after the film was declared a big hit, and
Right. Yeah.
the whole unit went in a van or a bus or something.
Nice. Do you miss those days where y'all would party, celebrate 50 weeks and 25 weeks and 100 weeks?
Not really, because I think these days, like it's a 3 day, 4 day,
Yeah.
1 week
Yeah,
window.
weekend, that's it.
Nobody remembers whether it's a flop or a hit after 3 days.
Yeah.
So I think there, because extended time period, you have that thing to build up to do a party.
True.
Yeah.
Are you glad you saw that time? Because, not these today's filmmakers will never see that. They'll never know what that was.
I mean, I think that's what life is about in
Yeah,
terms
yeah.
of advances.
True.
And yeah.
True, but that time also a lot of filmmakers got away by making whatever they wanted. Not many people were woke. Not many people had Instagram, Twitter to protest and revolt.
Yeah.
Today, when an animal comes out, everybody has their opinion about the film, and a filmmaker should always make what they want. But there's so many people having an opinion. Is that a good thing? How do you see that today? If you were to make
Yeah.
a similar film,
See, that's a very interesting question. I think there are two sides to it, and at the time this was happening, what you mentioned, the other side of it was filmmakers were very indulgent, and nobody knew what they were doing till the film comes out. So today, I think the transparency with the corporate culture and where enough people should know. Of course, they all collectively can make a mistake.
right?
But I think that could be in a way better than one guy making a mistake.
One guy
You know, So I think they have their advantage and disadvantage, because the corporate culture, the main issue is if 10 people collectively cannot make a creative decision. I
Yeah.
strongly believe that. Because everyone has a different taste,
Yeah.
mood, sensibility, and what they think of the audience, what they don't think.
Right.
And then depending on the hierarchical position,
True.
It can take away the so-called creative freedom. But creative freedom itself is a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
Because if the film works, it's creative freedom.
Otherwise, it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Right.
Like for example, since you mentioned animal, I believe an animal can never come out of a corporate setup.
Right.
It's impossible. That has to be one guy's vision of the thing. So I think it's got both its flip side and yeah.
Right, but if you are known to, you have made genres. You made Rangeela was like a love story and then before that you made action. You switched to horror where you made the best horror. You gave us the best horror films. So you cut across genres and you did it successfully. Today, if you were to make a film, will all these things come to your mind? Will be accepted. This will not be accepted.
I mean, I for one have never
That's true.
carried that because the main reason is I disagree with the concept of the audience because see, that's a convenient label we put on them. They'll watch Ek Diwangi Diwaniyat and then they'll watch some Sayara and then they'll watch something else. Obviously, we understand there's different categories, different people like,
Right.
but for convenience sake, we always talk about them as audience.
Audience, right.
So I think, though it is not guaranteed, the best way to make a film is for the director to make it with his conviction
Yeah.
and in the given budget and hope at least enough people will be there to sustain that.
True, true. That's fair. And you are right. You made what you wanted. Including say you wanted to make a Sholay, you made a Sholay. You didn't fear what the backlash would be, but that time also there was.
Yeah.
But today films work or don't work. Say a Sayyara comes, suddenly becomes a hit. Diwaniyat comes, suddenly becomes a hit. Do you know what genre to tap in this market?
I absolutely disagree with that. I think the most dangerous thing is to cater to the audience. See, like I said, again to repeat myself, the audience they're like a very volatile. You don't know when the filmmaker decides in certain mood and certain state of mind to make a film, to match that to a guy coming into the theater after a year or couple of years, to the mindset of that guy.
Yeah.
I think it's an impossible task.
Impossible task, right?
So it could depend on what he saw the previous day,
Yeah, that's true.
what he heard about it, what he's expected from the trailer. There are so many factors which can go wrong from, like the old line goes, a mini slip between the cup and the lip. I think it is that. So I think the truest way to make a film is to follow one person's conviction.
You think Sayyara and all was that?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, you think, yeah.
Mohit, I think just when you thought it's only the heavy VFX laden and production value pan India, only they will bring people to the theater, he proved everyone wrong.
Wow.
The simple emotion like Sayara can do that kind of a business. It was unheard of.
Right. The films you made, like Company, and these films, like I can watch it today. I think I've watched it 100 times already, but I can watch it again and again. I think every month or 2 months. Rama, why do you not make these? Why is Ram Gopal Varma missing from the action scene where OTT is flourishing, and we would love to see a OTT show from you?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I'm in the process of that. Why I did anything, I think if I could very honestly answer that, I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't have done that. Let me put it that way.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah.
But do you like the OTT space? Like, are you someone?
Yes, and 100%. Because I think OTT gives you an opportunity to dwell deeper into the story, and it gives you the time to justify the kind of characters you're dealing with, the relationships, which would be impossible to do in a 2.5 hour film.
Yeah, true.
That's what I think the greatness of that is. Yeah.
Right. So you are exploring. We'll see some web series.
I already written a series. I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
Amazing. So fans like me have lots to look forward to. Do you watch a lot OTT? Like, do you know there are shows like Adolescents and all which go places? Do you watch a lot?
I watched it.
What's your genre?
I see a lot. I mean, starting from earliest of Narcos to Peaky Blinders to I saw even Chernobyl, Looming Tower. These were some of my most favorite shows. Yeah.
Wow, great! And do you go to the theater also to watch movies? Yeah.
I rarely go to the theater, but I go to the theater only for films not about declared a super hit or something. I don't go into the mainstream so-called regular usage of formula films, that doesn't attract me as much as something which comes out of the box.
Right.
For example, I saw Oppenheimer 4 times in a theater.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Ramu, thank you so much. Hope people go and watch this because this caters to a full new generation now.
Correct.
So I really hope we have enjoyed Rangeela in cinemas. I just hope the younger generation, I don't know what they want, but I hope they go and see what we've enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.